Some people have to earn trust through words. Sigma empaths earn it through energy. The moment they walk into a room, quiet people feel something different: safety. There's no pressure, no performance, no judgment, just presence. While most people talk to be understood, Sigma empaths listen to understand. And that calm awareness, that unspoken empathy, makes even the most guarded souls exhale. It's not manipulation, it's not charm, it's alignment. Sigma empaths have a natural gift. They make people feel seen without asking for anything in return. They don't invade, they don't demand, they just understand. Their silence feels warm, their gaze feels grounding, and their energy says, "You can be yourself here." This video will reveal the 7 things Sigma empaths do that make quiet, introspective people trust them instantly. From their calm communication style to the way they intuitively read emotions without judgment. If you're a Sigma empath who attracts deep connections effortlessly, this video will show you why. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Brainy Empath, where we explore the depth of emotional intelligence, healing, and human connection. And tell me in the comments, do people often open up to you easily, even when they usually don't trust anyone? They listen without interrupting, making others feel genuinely heard. When a Sigma empath listens, the world slows down. There's no rush to reply, no hidden agenda, no waiting for their turn to speak. They simply listen, not to respond, but to understand. Their silence isn't awkward, it's comforting. It gives the other person room to breathe, to untangle their own thoughts, to feel something rare in today's world: being truly heard. In that quiet space, walls start to crumble. Even the most reserved people, the ones who never open up, find themselves talking, revealing, trusting, because deep down they can feel it. This person isn't judging, they're present. While most people fill silence with noise, a Sigma empath fills it with energy, calm, grounded, accepting energy. They nod slowly, make eye contact, and absorb what's being said. They don't rush to give advice or steer the conversation toward themselves. Instead, they reflect emotion back subtly, making the other person feel safe in their own vulnerability. That's why quiet people, especially those who've been misunderstood or ignored, gravitate toward them so easily. The Sigma empath becomes a mirror that reflects understanding without words. This kind of listening isn't just communication, it's connection. It tells the other person, you matter here, your thoughts have space, and that feeling builds instant trust. It's why people leave conversations with Sigma empaths feeling lighter, clearer, even healed, because someone finally listened without interruption, without expectation, without trying to fix them. For the Sigma empath, listening is a sacred act. It's how they read emotions, decode pain, and build bridges between souls. They don't need to prove they care, their attention is the proof. In a world obsessed with speaking, they understand the rare power of silence, because silence, when held with intention, can say everything. That's why quiet people trust them instantly. They feel safe, seen, and accepted, not because the Sigma empath said the right thing, but because they said nothing at all when it mattered most. Their energy feels calm and grounded, not demanding or intense. There's something unmistakable about the presence of a Sigma empath. The moment they enter a room, the atmosphere shifts. Not because they demand attention, but because their energy brings balance. It's calm, centered, unhurried. They don't compete to be noticed. They make people feel at ease without saying a word. While others radiate urgency or dominance, the Sigma empath radiates stillness. Their energy doesn't push or pull. It grounds. Quiet people sense it immediately. They can feel that this person isn't here to drain them or take up space. They're here to be. That's why trust forms so quickly. In a world where everyone seems to be shouting to be seen, the Sigma empath's calm energy feels like a refuge. There's no pressure to impress, no expectation to perform, no tension hiding behind smiles. Their energy says, you're safe here. You don't need to pretend. This grounded presence comes from experience. Sigma empaths have felt chaos, emotional storms, betrayal, overstimulation, and instead of letting it harden them, they learn to anchor themselves through it. They've mastered the art of emotional regulation, and it shows. Their tone stays steady when others panic. Their body language remains open, relaxed, genuine. People instinctively lean toward that stability because it feels like truth. It's not just emotional calm, it's spiritual clarity. The Sigma empath doesn't chase validation or control. They've already found peace within themselves. And that inner balance radiates outward. Even without words, people feel calmer in their presence. They leave conversations lighter, as if the chaos in their own mind had been gently organized. What makes this so powerful is that the Sigma empath never tries to project this energy. It's natural. They don't perform serenity, they embody it. Their peace isn't loud, but it's contagious. They can walk into a room full of tension and shift the entire frequency without effort. That's the quiet magnetism of their spirit. Grounded, unbothered, steady. People trust them not because of what they say, but because of what they don't say. The peace they carry within. Their calmness doesn't silence others, it soothes them. And in a world addicted to noise, that kind of energy feels like home. They mirror emotions subtly, creating instant emotional safety. A Sigma empath has a rare gift. They can make someone feel understood without a single word. It's not magic and it's not manipulation. It's empathy expressed through subtle reflection, a calm mirroring of tone, expression, and emotion that tells the other person, I see you, I feel what you feel. When they speak softly to match your pace, when their eyes reflect your sadness or their smile warms in response to your joy, that's not imitation, it's alignment. It's their quiet way of saying, you're not alone in this. People notice it, even if they can't explain it. Conversations with a Sigma empath feel natural, unforced. The tension drops, the guard comes down. There's no need to over-explain because somehow they already understand. This subtle mirroring creates an unspoken emotional bridge, one built on resonance, not reaction. It's what makes even the most guarded or introverted person feel safe enough to open up. What's remarkable is how unconscious it is for them. They don't calculate their tone or analyze your posture. They simply tune in. Their intuition reads energy the way others read words. If you're anxious, their voice slows to steady yours. If you're excited, their energy rises just enough to match yours without overwhelming you. That's why people describe them as easy to talk to. It's not about charm, it's about connection. This mirroring doesn't mean they absorb or mimic everything. A Sigma empath knows how to stay grounded in their own energy. They reflect just enough emotion to create trust, but not enough to lose themselves in someone else's pain. That balance is what makes them powerful. They can walk with you through your emotions without drowning in them. In that reflection, people feel something rare. Validation. It's the subtle reassurance that what they feel makes sense, that their emotions aren't too much, that they're seen, heard, and accepted exactly as they are. That's emotional safety, the foundation of trust. So when someone sits across from a Sigma empath and starts sharing things they've never said out loud before, it's not coincidence, it's connection. Because the Sigma empath doesn't just listen, they reflect. And in that reflection, others finally recognize themselves. They ask deep, thoughtful questions instead of giving surface advice. Sigma empaths have a different kind of intelligence, one that doesn't rush to fix, but seeks to understand. When someone opens up to them, they don't interrupt with cliches or empty comfort. They pause, absorb, and then ask the kind of question that stops you in your tracks, the kind that makes you think. Instead of saying, you'll be fine, they ask, what part of this hurts the most? Instead of telling you what to do, they help you uncover what you already know deep down. Their power lies not in having the answers, but in guiding you to find them yourself. This is why quiet people trust them instantly. They don't feel analyzed or judged, they feel understood. A Sigma empath's questions reach beneath the surface of small talk, piercing through emotional noise to the heart of the matter. Their tone is never intrusive, it's calm, patient, and intentional. Every question they ask is an invitation to go deeper, not a demand. It's as if they hand you a mirror instead of a map, allowing you to see your truth rather than forcing you toward theirs. What makes this ability so rare is that it comes from genuine curiosity, not control. The Sigma empath isn't trying to impress you or sound wise. They're simply present, tuned into your emotions, listening between the lines. Their intuition guides them to the right questions at the right time, the ones that gently unravel emotional knots. And when you answer, you don't feel exposed. You feel lighter, as if a weight has quietly been lifted. People often leave conversations with them feeling transformed, not because they were advised, but because they were seen. The Sigma empath knows that advice often fades, but insight stays. They don't tell you what to think, they help you hear your own thoughts clearly for the first time. That's why their words carry weight even in silence. They make people pause, reflect, and reconnect with parts of themselves they've ignored. For the Sigma empath, true connection isn't about giving direction, it's about awakening awareness. And that's why people trust them. Not because they have all the answers, but because they ask the questions that lead you back to your truth. Their silence feels comforting, it invites honesty, not pressure. When most people go quiet, the air becomes heavy, filled with awkward tension or unspoken expectations. But when a Sigma empath falls silent, the opposite happens. The atmosphere softens. The noise of overthinking fades. Their silence doesn't demand, it allows. It gives space for emotions to breathe and truths to rise naturally to the surface. Sitting across from them, you don't feel judged or analyzed. You feel safe. It's the kind of quiet that tells you don't have to rush, take your time. That's the magic of a Sigma empath's presence. Their silence has warmth. They don't use it to distance themselves, they use it to draw others closer. There's no performance, no expectation for you to be better or stronger. They simply exist beside you, calm and grounded, creating a space where you can finally drop your mask. Even without words, their energy says, I get it. And somehow you find yourself saying things you never planned to share. What most people don't realize is that this silence is intentional. The Sigma empath knows that real healing doesn't happen when someone tells you what to do. It happens when you finally feel safe enough to express what's been buried. So they don't interrupt, they don't rush your story, and they don't try to fill every gap with advice. Their silence becomes a sanctuary, a gentle container where emotions unfold naturally. In that space, truth feels welcome. You can cry without shame, admit your fears without defense, or sit in complete stillness without it feeling uncomfortable. That's because the Sigma empath's silence isn't empty, it's full of presence. Their eyes stay soft, their posture open, and their energy steady. It's an unspoken reassurance that says, you're allowed to just be. And when you leave, you realize something profound. They never said much, but somehow you feel lighter because their silence didn't make you feel ignored. It made you feel heard. The Sigma empath understands that sometimes the loudest form of care is quiet understanding. That's why their silence isn't a gap in conversation. It's the moment where trust begins. They intuitively sense when to speak and when to stay quiet. A Sigma empath has a natural rhythm in conversation that feels almost supernatural. They seem to know the exact moment when words are needed and when silence will speak louder. It's not something they plan, it's something they feel. Their intuition acts like an emotional radar, sensing when a person's heart needs space to unfold and when gentle words are needed to steady it. This timing is what makes people trust them so quickly because nothing about their communication feels forced. They never interrupt someone who's venting just to give advice. They don't rush to fill quiet moments with empty phrases. Instead, they stay fully present, letting emotions settle before they respond. When they finally do speak, every word feels deliberate, calm, grounded, meaningful. Their voice cuts through the noise not because it's loud, but because it's perfectly placed. People walk away from conversations with them thinking, that's exactly what I needed to hear. This balance between speaking and silence is what sets Sigma empaths apart. They understand that trust doesn't grow from constant reassurance, it grows from presence. When someone's hurting, they know when to sit beside them in silence. When someone's confused, they know when a few well-chosen words can bring clarity. Their emotional intuition guides every response, turning ordinary conversations into moments of healing. And it's never about control. They don't use silence to manipulate or dominate, they use it to connect. Their quietness feels intentional, not distant. It tells people, I'm here, I'm listening, you're safe. That kind of awareness is rare. Most people speak to fill space. Sigma empaths speak to create meaning. They understand that sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. Their ability to sense the emotional pulse of a room makes them anchors in any environment. Whether in chaos or calm, they adapt their energy with precision. They know when words will heal and when they'll harm, when a truth needs to be spoken and when it's wiser to hold it. That's why quiet people gravitate toward them, because deep down, they can feel it. The Sigma empath doesn't just hear them, they understand them, even in silence. Their empathy feels pure, no judgment, no agenda, just understanding. When a Sigma empath listens to you, it's like standing in sunlight after years of cold shade. There's no hidden motive, no silent evaluation behind their eyes. They don't listen to collect information or to fix you, they listen to feel you. Their empathy is pure, unfiltered, and free of expectation. You can tell them your darkest thoughts, your ugliest mistakes, your unspoken fears, and somehow you won't feel exposed. You'll feel accepted because their heart doesn't categorize people into good or bad. It simply understands that everyone is human and that pain always has a story behind it. Quiet people sense this purity instantly. They've spent most of their lives being misunderstood, spoken over, or judged for feeling too much. But with a Sigma empath, they finally feel seen without being dissected. There's no advice disguised as control, no pity disguised as compassion, just stillness, a steady emotional presence that says, you don't have to explain yourself to be worthy of understanding. That's why people open up so easily. They can feel there's no agenda, no ego, no mask. This kind of empathy is powerful because it doesn't seek validation. The Sigma empath doesn't need to save anyone to feel valuable. They've already done the hard work of understanding their own emotions, so they don't project them onto others. Instead, they meet people exactly where they are, not trying to pull them up or push them forward, but simply standing beside them and understanding. Their compassion doesn't demand gratitude, it gives freedom. People often leave their presence feeling lighter, even without any advice given, because what they experience isn't sympathy, it's resonance. The Sigma empath absorbs your emotions, not to carry them, but to reflect them back with gentleness and clarity. Their empathy acts like a mirror, allowing you to see yourself without distortion, without shame. That's the quiet magic of their connection, the ability to love without labeling, to care without controlling, to listen without judging. Their empathy feels pure because it is. It's not performative or strategic, it's sincere. And that sincerity is what makes even the most guarded souls trust them completely. With a Sigma empath, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be real. What makes Sigma empaths so magnetic isn't their words, it's their presence. They don't demand trust, they earn it quietly through consistency, understanding, and emotional safety. Their empathy doesn't try to fix you, it reminds you that you were never broken. And that's why people feel safe around them without knowing why. If you've ever been told that your calm presence makes others open up, or that people trust you without explanation, you might carry the same gift, the ability to connect deeply, not through noise, but through stillness. That's the Sigma empath superpower, to heal simply by being. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to Brainy Empath, where we uncover the hidden strengths of deep feelers, quiet healers, and emotionally intelligent souls who see what others miss. And if you've watched until the end, comment safe energy below, so I'll know you're one of the rare ones who lead with empathy, not ego.